welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
The podcast bringing you the latest in football news. Every week we discuss all the big talking points from the world of football and preview all the action in a week to come.
In this week's podcast, Manchester City make history, becoming only the second team in English football to win the treble after Rodri's screamer, sealing the Champions League win for them. And West Ham also win after a late winner from Jarrod Bowen. It sees them lift the Europa Conference League title.
Well, a couple of finals to talk about this week. So, let's talk football. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. It is European final week.
Welcome to our nightmare.
Well, yeah, it wasn't ideal.
Well, it's your nightmare that Manchester City have won the treble. It's my nightmare that West Ham have actually won something.
Yeah, before Tottenham ever will, probably.
Oh, it's horrible.
Look, Man City, look, they can be second, it's fine. We were still first, so...
Oh, the great debate has now begun, though, hasn't it?
It's fine. I mean, player for player, I know who I'm picking. I'm backing the boys every way.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to remember that 99 team all the way through, to be honest.
What, with Schmeichel, Neville, Stam, Johnson, Irwin, Beckham, Keane, Scholes, Giggs, York and Cole. Are you mad?
Oh. Is that it?
With Sheringham, Solskjaer off the bench, Nicky Butt giving good support in the midfield area. You had Phil Neville as backup as well. Okay, wasn't really, although he did have a really good final.
Raymond van der Gaal, wasn't he the backup goalkeeper?
Raymond van der Gaal has always been the backup goalkeeper. David May was part of the treble winning team, played the FA Cup final, often ridiculed for his celebration as per John Terry in the Champions League final, but did actually play the FA, but did start and play the FA Cup final. And I think he played the last, oh no, he might not have played the last league game of the season actually. But yeah. So I know who I'm picking.
Well, they've done it so far, haven't they? I think it was 7-4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Seven Manchester United players to 4 Man City ones.
I mean, the only ones you can kind of give an argument to would obviously be De Bruyne. Haaland would probably go in there. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You can't disrespect that, but I don't know. I don't know who you pick over Cole or York because I can't separate them. But Haaland and De Bruyne probably go in.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else makes it in.
I'd take Walker over Neville, probably.
Maybe, yeah. I'd
take Walker
over Neville. I think Gary Neville is massively underrated, actually, because he's just been a pundit for so long now.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets. And probably the way that his career ended, you forget about when he was at his best, how good he really was.
To be fair, I don't know whether you watched Soccer Aid last night.
Watched a bit of it.
It all fell apart when Neville went off.
Well, it fell apart when Scholes went off.
Yeah, true.
Scholes, he was still running that midfield up until the point he hurt himself.
Yeah. Michael Dawson pulled up after about 5
Michael
minutes.
Dawson was done. Honestly, they were on last legs last night.
Anyway, back to the proper football.
Back to the actual football, yeah. So City have done it. They are history makers.
Yeah.
The treble.
Join
the
a
second
very
to win the treble.
club.
Yep, only 3 clubs in Europe, I think, have ever done it.
Yeah.
Jose's Inter. Ferguson's United.
Yeah.
Mourinho's Inter. And Pep's Man City.
I thought Bayern Munich had done it as well.
I don't think Bayern had done it.
Yeah, I'm sure they said Bayern had done it.
Yeah, but the German one doesn't... It's not really difficult for Bayern to do it in Germany, is it? Is it though? Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to upset our German listeners.
What? None of them. I think it's harder to win the league in Italy and England than it is for Bayern to win the league in Germany.
Oh, crikey. Absolutely. 100%. You are not wrong. Yeah.
So, yeah, Bayern fans, get in the bin.
But it was a nervous final, and if Inter had somebody who could put the ball in the back of the net...
It was such a poor game.
It was.
The quality wasn't there. Other than Rodri's absolute belter of a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, poor De Bruyne has had to come off again in the Champions League final.
Yeah, you felt for him, didn't you? 20 minutes in, you're like, not again.
Yeah, so he's had to come off. Inter probably thinking, oh, okay.
I thought Foden did really well, to be fair.
Yeah, he would. He wasn't. He's not a bad replacement to bring on, really.
No,
is he, Phil
definitely
Foden?
not. No, crikey.
I thought John Stones was phenomenal again, though, in that role.
Definitely.
He's so good. The way he turned someone, I can't remember who it was. He absolutely left them for dead in the midfield.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was either.
Yeah, he just did a 180 on him and just said, "Now, see you later. This is my ball." I thought he played really well, but overall the quality at each end of the pitch wasn't great.
I think praising Ederson's save.
Yeah, it was probably an important one.
Should be moaning Lukaku's header, right?
Yeah, I mean Lukaku should do better with that, and you'd expect him to do better with that.
Well, 4 yards out, you expect him to put it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, at his best, that goes in, and we're not even having a discussion, does it? But obviously he's not quite at the level that he was at, which is why I don't think he'll end up back in Chelsea's team next season.
Not if he can't score. No.
I mean, Poch will probably call up Lee Mack or get Robbie Keane. He'll get Robbie Keane.
I mean, Keano, yeah.
And get Robbie Keane back in the team.
Keano wouldn't look out of place, probably.
But yeah, so it was one of them. I think Inter suffered in the way that United did in the cup final.
That you were trying to suppress them. Yeah.
Well, no, it was the lack of quality on the counter.
Yeah.
Because the passing when they got out, because I thought Inter played really well. They suckered City in.
Yeah.
So they passed they gave a goal kick and they'd sucker City into the press, but then they'd find their man long, so they'd give a man some space in the midfield, and they were able just to clear into the space, which created the chances for Inter. But then the ball, it was that next ball from the midfield into the final third on the break, which really let them down, I felt. And then obviously, I quite fancied Dzeko to get a goal. I thought he could get a goal here, Dzeko.
Yeah, I don't think they found him enough. They found Lukaku more than they did Dzeko.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was more space in the game the later the game went.
Yeah. But I just felt overall the quality wasn't great, and it did take something special from Rodri to just kind of go, right, okay, we're done now. We've got it.
Yeah. And then they just played it out from there. Obviously, they had the scare right at the end, but...
Yeah. I mean, he should score that, though. He should
score that. And they had another chance, didn't they? Just right on the whistle.
Yeah. Which was disappointing for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is... City have broken their Champions League duck. They're now officially a bigger club than Arsenal.
And I think this will be the first of many now.
It could well be. It could well be the one that kind of opens up the door for them. You think about Madrid aren't the force that they were over the last decade, really. Now that they've lost Benzema, Modric and Cruz are having to move on.
They are gaining Jude Bellingham.
They're bringing in Bellingham. Yeah, but they're bringing in Bellingham, but it's going to take a bit of time for them to find themselves again, because they've got to rebuild, essentially, haven't they?
Yeah, Madrid, they need a centre forward.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like they're getting the one they want.
No, so it's going to take a bit of time for that rebuild to kind of happen at Madrid, I feel.
Yeah.
The Italian clubs have been strong, but I feel at the end, I mean, they made both the Champions League and
they made 3 finals and didn't win any of them.
Yeah. But they just lack that kind of something. So there might be another step for the Italian clubs to step into next year.
Yeah.
You've got to think
PSG will do better.
You'd expect them to, but I mean, the City are the example of what PSG thought that they were.
Yeah.
But City did it slightly differently.
Yeah.
Whereas PSG just went mad on buying every superstar they could find, even if they were nearly ready to go to a retirement home.
Yeah.
Whereas City, they built their teams from, that Pep has built that squad, whatever the charges are over their head right now, and we can't forget those.
No.
But that team itself is built from real talent.
Yeah, it's built from the ground up, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's taken some time to build, and they've done it all right, whereas PSG have not. But they should be stronger. Bayern are always competitive. They find a way. And then the threat from the other English teams, really...
Next season will probably be Liverpool, I would have thought.
Well, no, because they're not even in it, are they?
Are they not in the Champions League?
No.
Of course they're not.
It's Arsenal, United and Newcastle in it.
So there are no threats basically.
So I genuinely don't. I don't think we'll compete in the latter stages of the Champions League next year.
No, you're all.
We're
having
not
been
there.
out of it for a couple of seasons. You're not.
I can't really see Arsenal doing it either.
No, you think if they come up against somebody difficult, they'll probably buckle.
Yeah, and then Newcastle again. It's their first time in the tournament for nearly 20 years.
And they'll end up with a probably horrendous.
They'll get
group.
a really horrible group. Yeah. So, I think City are probably the only real contenders from an English point of view next season.
Yeah.
From a Spanish point of view, did Barca come back into it? They don't seem to be quite right either.
No, because they didn't do very well this year, did they?
No.
So,
And they ended up in the Europa League, didn't they?
yeah.
So yeah, I think the main contenders will City and the Italian teams again. I think will probably be the
dominant force.
The dominant forces again, yeah, for sure. And Bayern, you can never count Bayern out.
Because you haven't got us to knock Manchester City out of the Champions League.
No. But you're not in Europe at all.
No.
And it surprises me, especially after seeing... we will get on to West Ham now. After seeing the West Ham celebrations,
Yeah.
why would you not want that as a football fan? For your club.
I think it shows that West Ham took it seriously and were very, very good to do what they've done.
But why? But you've said on this podcast that you're happy that your team are not in Europe next year.
Because I think we need to have a proper dismantle of our squad, and being in Europe would be a distraction from that.
But it's an opportunity to win something.
It is an opportunity to win something. There are other opportunities elsewhere.
I just never really understand. It's an opportunity to win something, and you just seen what West Ham have done with that tournament. They've had a pretty they've had a pretty ordinary season, really, West Ham in terms of their league.
Yeah.
But then this run in Europe has really lifted everybody at the football club. They've been able to show their true quality, because you don't beat a Fiorentina team. You don't beat a lot of the teams have beat in Europe this season without having some level of quality.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
But they really suffered in the league this season. So for their fans, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're all over the moon. I couldn't be bothered, but they are over the moon.
But I think if that was your club in that situation, you'd be over the moon as well, because you won a trophy. Of course,
we'd be over the moon if we win something. Of course, it would be.
So that's why I just don't understand why then the opportunity to win something in a tournament puts you off. Why would you not want to be in it?
We didn't take it seriously the last time we were in it.
Yeah, but I think seeing West Ham do it
now, probably.
Yeah, you see,
now
you got to be in it. You got to win it.
Going back to when Antonio Conte was in the Conference League, he tried to mix and match, and it didn't work
in the early stages. But a lot of teams do that early stages, and to be fair, that should have worked. The quality of your squad should have been beating those teams in your group.
Yeah. Had we probably had the chance to play the last group game instead of it being postponed and us not being allowed to play it, who knows what would have happened? But
who knows?
But no, full credit to West Ham.
No, huge for them. That goal from Bowen, the composure at that time of the game when you're probably tired as hell.
Yeah.
To be able to have the fight and the drive to get in, the composure of the finish, and
it showed a lot of character, because obviously Fiorentina got back in the game, and then you thought, uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Classic West Ham, they are going to screw it up. But they settled themselves down again, and they got the result that they desired. And the scenes in London were very, very good. And, who knew there was that many West Ham fans?
I mean, let's be honest, there's more West Ham fans than Tottenham fans in London.
In London, probably. I mean, I saw people that I know going up who don't support West Ham.
Lovely. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's nice for them. They'll get a place in the Europa League. They'll have probably an easier group because they go straight in to pot one. And who knows what might happen to them next season. Obviously, they are going to lose Declan Rice. I think we're all...
Yeah, well, I was just about to bring on to that, because I think it was Sullivan had come out and said...
Yep, then we've said he can go, and he will be allowed to leave. for the right price.
Obviously. Which normally isn't a lot for Sullivan. He'll take anything.
Well, I think 90 million is what the number they're talking about.
I think he'll go for less than that.
You reckon what, 70?
Knowing how Sullivan operates,
yeah,
it'll be less than that. He'll just capitulate.
It'll be a good signing for somebody.
I watched it at Birmingham City.
I don't know where he goes, but
I watched it at Birmingham City for years. They play hardball. And then he sees the money.
Yeah.
And he'll just go, I'll have the money.
Yeah.
So he'll definitely go. Where he goes is another discussion. I mean, Arsenal's heavily linked with him. I think United have been linked with him.
I don't see where else he goes apart from Arsenal.
I mean, he could go abroad. He could
go to Bayern.
Could go Bayern have been interested, haven't they? Yeah. He could end up at United. I don't know why you're saying I could only see him going to Arsenal.
To be fair, Mason Mount's going to Man U.
I'd love to have Mount and Rice at United. Would be honestly
so,
amazing.
He's got to follow his mate, hasn't he?
It'd be amazing.
He can't go to Chelsea because obviously Mason's leaving. So
yeah, Mason's leaving there. They don't want him, so he doesn't want them. And it's Chelsea, and I don't think that'll go down well with West Ham.
I don't think there's that hatred between the two of them that everyone makes out.
Is it not like we're proper Londoners and they're all
Joe
posh
Cole
over
did
there?
it, and they love Joe Cole.
That's true. That's true.
The man
they
walks
did
on
get
water.
relegated. They did get relegated, didn't they, before he left?
Yes, I think they did.
Yeah.
So he took them down to the Championship, then he left them, and they still adore him.
Yeah.
So, Whereas poor Rio, gets all the stick in the world.
Yeah.
And he went to Leeds.
But there we are. At least he didn't go and play for Millwall, eh?
Yeah. Oof.
But yeah, so those are the two big finals. They both went to the English clubs. So as we wrap up our time, what else was happening around the world this week?
So there wasn't much going on around the world this week because most of the leagues are all done, apart from a few little things. So we'll start in Serie A, where I'm sure you want to find out who won between Verona and Spezia to retain their place in Italy's top division. It was Verona. They won by 3-1, even after Ethan Ampadu had scored for Spezia. So they are replaced by Cagliari, who beat Bari by 2-1 on aggregate. They are managed by former Leicester and Chelsea boss Claudio Ranieri, proving the Tinkerman still has it at 71 years young. Go on, the Tinkerman. In the Bundesliga, Stuttgart retained their place in the top division. They beat Hamburg 6-1 on aggregate in that playoff section at the bottom. To the MLS, where Messi's arrival has tongues wagging and people subscribing to Inter Miami's social media channels. Apparently they added 1.5 million subscribers since the announcement. That is crazy. It's defenders they really need, though, after they lost 3-1 to New England, so hopefully there'll be work done at the back as well. Their former boss, though, Phil Neville, has a new job. He is now the manager of Canada. Saw that and thought, that's interesting. And finally, we are going to wish luck to the Lionesses at the Women's World Cup. We won't be here when it starts on the 20th of July, but we'll keep you updated as it progresses once we're back in August.
So with that then, women, we wish the Lionesses all the best of luck. That pretty much wraps us up here. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us. You won't hear from us for a while, but you can get in touch with us if you like to.
I'll still reply if someone sends us a message.
I mean, yeah, sure. I won't. On Twitter at Let's Football Pod. You can email us at letsfootballpod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening this season, and we'll catch you down the line, I suppose. So, what a season it's been.
It has been a very good season, and hopefully, for us at least, I know I'm being selfish, it's better next year.
Indeed. I'm sure you do. But for now, we'll see you all soon. Bye!
Bye!